nobody lifted a finger to do a damn thing and shut the country down.
Yep.
But there was a collective effort. But we don't have a collective effort as African people because it ain't popular anymore. Most of our women want to slick and oil and boil their hair and look like Beyonce. Most of our men want to thug out and even up into their 30s and 40s act like they're thugs and play this back hat to the back kind of bullshit. We are tired of all of that.
Starting to see it in the 50s as well.
Again.
I see it in the 60s.
Yes, this is
Grandpa
getting ridiculous.
Ray.
That's what I'm talking about. We cannot afford right now to wait on those people to start moving. What happens is the only time we find ourselves getting ready to change is when we have no other choice. Right now we got too many goddamn choices. The only time African peoples move is when we ain't got another damn choice to make.
Word.
And this is how they keep us distracted. They give us too many choices to make. And because so many Africans are not on purpose, back in the days when Marcus Garvey, when Malcolm and Martin and them, back then we ain't had no choices. So we had to make a concerted central effort to make sure we move forward. What they did was to introduce all kinds of choices. The first time they introduced it was when they brought those hellions called the feminists into the so-called movement and began separating the women from the men. Now they started giving the women other choices and funding the choices that they gave them. Funding jobs, funding minority women's startup business program. What the hell was all that? That was to separate us, give us choices so that the ultimate choice, and that is to collectively come together, would not be made. And so now with our generation having all these individual choices to do what you want, go ahead out there, bro, do what you want, find what you want. When they took all the other choices that we would have made by taking the jobs out of there, that's a choice they didn't give us. They gave us the choice of the streets for us to sell drugs. So they've been marginalizing and they've been orchestrating our choices. When we don't have any more choices, black folks ain't going to have, when you can't get that $150 perm or the $250 weave, when you can't get them $150
$6,000 weave.
$1,000 weave. I'm just talking about. You know what I'm talking about. When you take all those choices away and say, listen, you're going to have to fight now. You're going to have to get off of that bush, strap your baby to your back, pick up your M16, and let's get going. When we get them out of their superficial mindset wondering what it is that Jay-Z going to be doing tomorrow, fuck that nigga. And stop listening to these bullshit niggas telling you all about what's going on, what I'm getting and what I'm doing. What the fuck are you doing for everybody else around you where you came from, Negro? What are you doing to reach back and make sure you pull up not just one, but 100? This is the problem we have. We have so many superficial choices that deal with our lower passions that we can't even think in our higher brains for the ultimate choice to happen. So when the choice is for us to either go here, get a job there, or when all of that shit is gone, then people start to focus. You know, when you ain't got no other choice, but life or death is facing you, you get real clear. But right now, Negroes ain't clear. All we can do, all brothers like Rashid can do, is to put the plan out there and wait for the time when the people have no other choice.
Sir, come on, Pete. Where you at? Pilot. Yeah, I saw the future when you said that one. I definitely, you just solved a mystery right there.
That was like the
no choice.
No choices. You know what I'm saying? And we are approaching that particular moment. And, you know, that's what these programs are about, preparation, so we can get our minds and our bodies together for the inevitable. You know what I mean? So people won't be standing there holding the bag. So you actually will have your moment to rise to this particular challenge and do for self and do for family and for others of like mind. And so we won't be scattered like roaches, you know what I'm saying, when these things hit. So during these quote-unquote periods of calm, and it's far from that, it's an illusion, you know what I'm saying? But the freedom of movement is something that we still have. You know, the freedom of getting together as a collective is something that we still have. You know, using these particular forums to exchange information is something that we still have. You know what I mean? The New Madrid fault going off and this continent splitting in two, you won't have those particular liberties anymore. So it's very, very, very important that the people, and even absence of tragedy, now is the time, period, for people to get serious about essential protocols. Bottom line. So, you know.
Blue, we got the lines lit up, and I don't want to leave out the family tonight in this conversation because this is a round table. Like, we all here to get it in. So let's go ahead and open up a few calls and let them talk to the doc.
Okay. Real quick. I think the doc, 386. Peace, doc. That you?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Indeed. All right, let me go to this call right here. 347499. Peace.
Peace. What's up?
Peace.
Greetings.
How's everybody doing?
All is well.
Well, great.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, great. I just want to tell you all, first of all, it was a great opportunity to have this time to listen to you all talking to one another, giving your respects to Dr. Phil Valentine, and also then hearing Dr. Phil Valentine give his acknowledgement of other elders like other elders like Dr. Ivan Van Sertima and all the other greats that contributed onto our cultural community, the information that we need in order to come into a higher awareness of self, as well as to build up our self-esteem. The root of self-esteem, I do know, is courage, is confidence, and I just think that there's a place where we talk a great deal about fear, and we talk a great deal about, the fear of dying. I know that place. I experienced that when I was younger, but I found that I got more confidence when I chose to die to self, to die to the self-enemy, where I was being my own worst enemy through how I thought, how I felt, and what I said to myself on a consistent basis. I know that how we, the culture, the sickness that's amongst our people does affect how we think and feel about ourselves, and then what happens is we go into autopilot, repeating over and over and over again the things that we've gone through based on shock, connected with post-traumatic slave syndrome and all the rest of the stuff that we've been suffering from. I just feel that it's very important. I think that it's very important that we now start looking at our patterns where we have been and are being destructive individually and collectively as a people, and then we have to turn that energy around, redirect the energy. Where we focus so much on the quote-unquote so-called powers of powers, which we say is this government or these Caucasian people, we now have to transfer that idea of powers to our deity, no matter what the name we call that deity. I hope we don't get into these wars about what's the right way or the right group or the right religion or the right spiritual system, because I'm sure that at one time, when Africa, Kemet, Ethiopia, Kush, Punt, whatever you want to call the name, with the continent of the Nile, when we were at our glory, when our ancestors were in the glory, we were practicing a lot of different things. That worked. And I think it's just very important that we tap into that spiritual power collectively. We have to tap into the cosmic spiritual power, and then from there, we need to then employ the higher elementals, let them know what's going on, and then ask for their assistance. Okay, it's very important. That power is alive. It is awake. It's awake in Ifa. It's awake in Shintoism. It's awake in Kemetic science. It's just you have to know how to go about tapping into that power, and our intentions have to be clear. Our intentions have to be positive. We have to have good intentions. Okay, we have to resurrect our spirits before we're focusing so much on resurrecting the legacy, resurrecting Kemet, resurrecting the history, proving to other people that this history came from us, that our ancestors taught your people this and that. All of that really doesn't matter. What really matters is how we ascend. We must ascend. We must elevate our energy vibration, and we must expand our consciousness, and we have to learn how to bite our tongue. Because we're tapping into a lot of power, but if you're directing and saying, well, because of this, because of white man, because of this, we're binding ourselves on a spiritual, psychic, subconscious, emotional, and physical level. We have to get all the way forward to the power that works, and we have to then deny ourselves. We have to deny. We cannot keep giving so much power to Caucasian people. You might not even understand that you're giving that power to them, because you might not even know that you're tapping into so much power. You might not even know how powerful you are. Okay, but the only way you can know that is to tap into the power of deity. Okay, we have to sing a new song now, and can't be glamorizing pain and where there's no gain, and all we do is complain in shame. It's time to move forward. Okay, time to move forward, brothers. Peace.
Peace.
Peace. Thank you.
Peace. Give thanks.
Thank you indeed.
Okay. I'm going to open another line. Caller calling from 469-853. Peace.
Yeah, man. Peace, guys, man. What's up with y'all, man? This B. I'm 23. I'm calling from Fort Worth, Texas and shit.
Peace, God.
I just hopped on YouTube. I caught the little upload that Rashid put up, and just end up calling the line. I ain't just caught off guard, but yeah, I listened to the last little couple of minutes, and I'm trying to see what's good. Y'all got any insights on what's gonna go down? Cause I've been reading up a lot on a lot of different types of different beings and shit finna stop by this motherfucker and scoop some motherfuckers up, and some motherfuckers finna get left. And I don't know. I'm trying to see what ship I need to hop on. Because I've been reading up on all different types like grays and stuff like that. I ain't been really worried about no other human beings as far as right now. I'm looking at hive stuff because even white people putting this stuff on TV now, like they ain't even hiding no more. That this stuff is out here and it's finna go down, and ain't no way around it.
Yeah, well, I also spoke about sometime this year that Obama is supposed to make a kind of a disclosure, and speaking about extraterrestrials having been here, or people who are earthbound and have been living off planet for a while, long enough to be considered to be extraterrestrials coming back here. There's a TV program called The Event that's supposed to represent something around those areas. But I also told you that notice that apocalyptic situations are being the theme for the next, I would say, for the last years. The complete and absolute destruction of the planet, wholesale destruction of civilizations, of what we have become comfortable with. They're trying to program our minds. Landing of vicious aliens, incorporating their mindset, trying to take us over to get our resources, all this kind of stuff. So
yeah,
I have to be very conservative